Welcome everyone. Oh, let me fix this here. Welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Bearded IT Dad, where we give you advice and insight on how to grow your career in the IT field. Today we're kind of doing an odd live stream. We're going to be building a computer. In this case, we're actually building a brand new streaming computer. We got the Be Quiet Pure Base 500DX case here, and we're going to take you through all the components and everything as we build this computer live here on the stream. Now, if you guys have any questions at all at any point during this video or during the replay, make sure and drop them in the comments or in the chat below. With that said, let's get started. So here's our case here. I've just purely unboxed it. Some of this components you'll see I've unboxed just for ease of access. Use of use. This is a pretty nifty case. Here, let me switch back to the better camera. So, as you can see on this case here, it's got a front intake panel. Underneath this mesh grill, it has a removable dust screen, as well as a magnetic dust screen here on the top. On the side here, we got a tempered glass panel, full side panel. And down at the bottom here, which is just off screen, we have a basement for your various power supplies. So in this computer, we're going to be putting in an Intel i9 12th gen processor, a RTX 4080 graphics card, a 1200 watt power supply, and it should be a pretty good video editing computer. Let's go ahead and take this glass panel off. Sorry that my top-down screen isn't the greatest. I didn't have a really good webcam. Is there protective film on this? It's gotta be, right? Just on the inside. Oops. All right, you ready for this, guys? Possibly the best part of the stream right here. For all you early comers to the stream. Look at that. Probably peeled it a little too early. Should have waited till later. You guys might be able to hear my kids in the background. They decided to come to the studio with me today. So with that glass panel off, you can see a little bit more. This case comes with 3 of the Be Quiet fans. I've decided the size radiator I got has to be mounted in the front. It's a 360 millimeter radiator, so that's going to have to go up here in front. So I decided to put 2 fans pulling through this top screen down and 1 exhaust fan here on the back. Let's see if I can adjust this camera a little bit more. So that is what our fan orientation is going to be. You see, hopefully a little bit better now. This front panel will just pop up. It does have RGB built into this grill, so that's kind of cool. Now we'll just leave that off. And then it has this nifty little cleanable screen as well. I'm just going to set that to the side as well. Like I said, I did open this up earlier today and do some test fitting because I actually wasn't sure. I have a really large graphics card if it was going to fit in here with the radiator. And I think if I put the fans on this side and the radiator on this side, I think we'll have enough clearance. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to put the case to the side and let's get the motherboard out first. I'm a big believer in you should try to assemble as much on your motherboard before you actually install it into your case. So our motherboard today is the Asus Tough Gaming Z691 Plus Wi-Fi. It's a really nice motherboard here. Of course, I did not bring a knife with me today. But I do have one over there. Require me to get up and get it. Look at that there. So here's the little Wi-Fi antenna it comes with, the external Wi-Fi antenna. Just gonna set that aside. SATA data connector. You got a CDs, manuals, all the other garbage we probably won't read, and some stickers. Let's go ahead and get this opened up. That's the beauty here. So we got here is a spot for M.2 drives, and I actually plan installing them, but they arrived late, or they haven't arrived yet, I should say. Just curious. Look and see what it looks like under these heat shields here. So yeah, you can see we got a spot for one M.2 drive here, and I believe there's 2 more slots or spots down here as well. I do have 2 Western Digital black drives, a 2 terabyte drive and a 500 gigabyte drive coming later this week that I plan installing. So yep, so we have 2 more M.2 drives here, or places for it. But for now, those spots are gonna have to remain vacant. For the fish, thank you for the super chat. 199 red down arrow says here. Thank you so much. I'm gonna put these covers back on here. So like I said, I'm not putting any M.2s in. I'm just gonna put a old SSD I have laying around until those M.2 drives come in. I can install them. So let's go ahead and install our CPU into the chassis here. All processor first, then remove motherboard. So our processor right here, as you can see, like I said earlier, is an Intel i9 12th gen series. Could have gone with the 13th gen. Just pricing on this was decent, so I ended up going with the 12th gen. Just like I could have gone with a 3090 to get a little bit more VRAM, but I didn't want to wait that long for it to arrive. It's a pretty nifty box that they have here. Of course, got our i9 sticker. That will have to go on there somewhere. Around the front of the CPU. It's a nifty box. Nice gold tin right here. Wow. There is our beautiful processor. Let's go ahead. Pull that off. Now, I don't think you guys will be able to see this on the live. Excuse me, a live stream. But these sockets, it's a little tiny arrow. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there's a little tiny arrow. You can't see this on the live stream. So, but anyways, there's a matching arrow here on the socket. Typically. Assuming it's just a problem. That is weird how this socket doesn't have a matching arrow. Oh, see, there's the matching arrow right there. Slide that down there. Locks our chipset in place. I'm not sure if that was supposed to actually stay in there. Okay. That actually still clip on. I'm just gonna leave that right there for right now. So next we're gonna install is our RAM. We got 4 sticks of DDR5 memory, 300 or 32 gigs a piece. This RAM here is from Corsair. I'm a big fan of Corsair products, but this is, in all honesty, the least amount of Corsair I've probably put into a build. These are their Vengeance line. Nothing fancy, no RGB, just hardworking RAM. So we're gonna have a total of 128 gigs of RAM in this computer. So all these open. Why I would have loved to go with some like the Dominator series RAM, get all that nice beautiful RGB in here. The budget was already slim as it was. Where are you guys tuning in from today? I can see there's quite a few of you in here watching. The chat's awfully quiet. What is everyone up to on this Saturday after the Thanksgiving holiday? Oh, back in my household, there's a football game. A lot of people are watching. You feel like you should be in an elevator? Oh, you like my Christmas elevator music? Watching the UFO game? Yep. Go Beavers. All right. That was simple. Got our RAM installed. Since we have 4 sticks, it really doesn't matter which slots they go in. But they are color coded because this is dual channel. Excuse me. While we got this out, let's go ahead and pull off some of this plastic. My luck is I'll fire this thing up. Totally forget. Look how nice that is. All right. I think I'm going to set this motherboard aside. It's really going to need to be done to the case. Go ahead and get this case back on the table. Pull off this back panel here. One really nice thing about these Be Quiet cases is the backside is covered with this sound deadening foam. Now, just to let you guys know and be clear, none of the companies here sent me any of the stuff. I bought it all. No one paid for any of this. This is just me needing to build a new computer. So our front radiator is going to go up here on the front half. This is the backside of the case. So there's this hard drive tray up here that we're going to actually end up having to remove because our radiator is actually going to not fit in here if we leave it in. So let's go ahead, get this removed, set aside, because our radiator is actually going to come all the way down into the basement of here. While we got this flipped over, we're going to go ahead and these screws, a lot of these screws are really tight. This is a back bracing on the back side of where the motherboard is going to go. This will allow us to install our CPU bracket in easier. So I'm going to go ahead and mount the motherboard before I install any of the cooling brackets or anything like that. But first, what do you guys think? Should we install the power supply next, or should we go ahead and get our radiator installed in the front? Let me know in the chat. We have some pretty cool components here. If I can get out of the box. Yep. Okay. So we have, oh my gosh, our 1200 watt Corsair power supply here. I ran this power supply in the past. Absolutely loved it. It is a beast of a power supply. And we have our Corsair H1050i Elite CPU cooler with radiator. I'm thinking we should go ahead and install that first, since no one else has mentioned anything here in the chat. I think it's going to be one of the more difficult things. So that radiator, flip this around, is going to go right up here up front. See if I can move my fat head out of the way. There we go. So let's go ahead and get this installed. Running out of desk space here. So we got some super quiet Corsair fans, RGB fans. Here is our AIO. Let's go ahead and set this box up inside. Normally, I want to suggest putting in this before the motherboard, but how cramped we are in space in this case, I don't know if I really have a choice. So let's go ahead, put that in here. So radiator is going to go there. We're going to put our fans on the opposite side. There's some nice looking fans. They're not the highest quality from Corsair. I would expect a little bit higher quality, but they'll definitely do the job. They are a static pressure optimized fan, so that is nice. They also do come with the fan header and RGB light controller. Well, that is also very nice as well. And we have our different brackets for our different processors. We are running a Intel processor. Let's see. So we're going to end up using this X style bracket here. Last time I built a system, it was an AMD based system, and nothing wrong with AMD. I just decided for really what I am doing, Intel was going to definitely be the better choice. So I don't know if you guys can see, there's some slots right here towards the backside. I think that's where I'm going to run my RGB and fan wires right down in there. Looking for the rest of the screws. Yes, they are static pressure fans. SP fans, short for static pressure. So these are all the screws that come with it. I'm just going to dump them out. So these longer screws here, hopefully you guys can see, are for the fans that go and that go into the radiator. What is nice about this radiator, I am told, is they don't make the screws too long, so they can actually go through the fan into the radiator, and you're not at risk of puncturing any of your cooling fins. So these fans do have little rubber grommets, so the washers on these is a must. What is that? The screws. So these screws are the proper length, and they don't have any cooling. The cooling fins and stuff are not located behind the screw holes. So back in the day, they used to put a core of the radiator right behind the screw hole. So if you put a screw that was too long, well, you're going to spring a leak. Nowadays, at least on this radiator, they thought about that. And if the screw's too long, there's nothing for you to damage. So if you grab the wrong screw, or somehow it got over tightened, you're not going to cause too much damage to the radiator. Now, I mean, don't go all He-Man on it, but on the same hand, what is a static pressure fan? Static pressure fan means static pressure fans are designed to blow air through a radiator. So when you have a static pressure, it's optimized to put pressurize it's optimized to pressurize the interior of this case, where a airflow fan is designed just to move as much volume as possible instead of creating pressure. So this fan is optimized to create pressure, not move volume, which is the kind of fan you want when you have a radiator system. So I'm thinking I should be able to just line this all right up. Go right into my radiator. Hold on. Just double checking, making sure all these screws are the same length. Sorry guys, focus in here, trying to make sure I get this right and don't screw something up. There we go. So yeah, so you can see how the radio is going to sit here on the front. I'm going to have the fans up here. Don't worry, I'll move the camera around here in a second so you guys can see a little bit better. The wire is nice and neat. Now, these are 120 millimeter fans. This should move a decent amount of airflow. It could fit up to 140 millimeter here in the front, but since we were forced to put our radiator here, that's what it's going to get. I really want to put the radiator along the top of the unit, top of the case, but it was definitely too long. It's not one. Didn't really think about that when I purchased the case. You know, it said it could fit up to this size radiator, and I didn't realize where they were talking about. It could fit up to this size radiator. Would I have gone with a lesser radiator knowing this? Probably not, because I probably would have still configured it the same. But yeah, it's all good. I just like having the radiator at the top of the case. But this works. Because I also have two other fans at the very top pulling air into the case. And then one fan on the back pulling out. I always optimize for to have positive pressure inside the case. So you don't, if you have a negative pressure case, you're more likely to pull in dust and stuff through the cracks, where you're not pulling air in through the filter medium that is here on the front. So I always have more fans blowing in than out. And it's a little overkill. Like I said, I have 5 fans blowing in, 1 out. I could probably have another one blowing out, but just the fan placement on this case doesn't really preview that, or you know. Once I get this other screw tightened a little bit, throw these back in here until I need them when I mount the motherboard on. And I'll flip this over so you guys can see a little bit better. Almost done, sorry. Okay. Drink of water. You can see a little bit better now what the front will look like. We have the radiator in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and tighten these up. Don't want to get them too tight because they do have rubber grommets. But you don't want stuff rattling around and falling out. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I know my microphone's a little far away. A lot of screws here. Each fan's got 4 of them, so. Okay. We'll go ahead and move our pump out of the way. Let's go ahead and get our motherboard in. Man, this is a tight screw. Okay, oh, we got it in there. Let's go ahead and get it screwed in. Hopefully correctly, I'm assuming the screws for that are in this box. Okay. You guys see that okay? If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just building away. So we got some screws here. Of course, none of them are labeled. Should we open up the manual here? Well, be quiet, didn't. Oh no, there it is. Let's see. So there's 13 screw of the M6 screws. Those are hard drive screws. It's got to be these ones. This doesn't feel like it's threading in properly. These other ones look like such coarse thread. Doesn't look like it'll be right. Let's go ahead. Sure enough, it sure feels a lot better. See, if it doesn't fit, don't force it. Try another screw. I'm gonna stick those ones back in there. There should be 13 of these. Yep. Oh look, there's another M.2 slot. So you can stick 4 different M.2 drives in this computer. That's crazy. All right, I do believe I got all the screws in. Let's go ahead and get the bracket in for our CPU core. see that. All right. Like I said, one nice thing about this case is it has a bracket here that comes off, so we can install our CPU mounting bracket. See, in this bracket even, it's got this adhesive tape we remove to help hold it in place. I'll go ahead and put this back in as well. This also doubles as a spot we can mount our SSDs. We'll probably mount one or two of them, one of the standard SSDs back here. Just because SSD I have for today, it's not very pretty. It's not the forever drive that's going to live in here. So you guys can see. Then we have our different standoffs. We're doing a Intel 1700 series chipset socket. So we're gonna use the ones for that. It does have the standoffs for the other ones. I'm gonna discard those other ones, it's on the side. Very little room to work in these. Really hoping our cooler. It would be really nice if these CPU cooler manufacturers included a tool to help screw these in. Some sort of like T-handled socket. Might end up doing. taking that piece of RAM out just so I can get some more RAM. I'll put it back in when the cooler is no longer here. Or okay. Now let's get this cooler mounted up. Now it's got pre-applied thermal paste. And I'm just going to go ahead and use that. I actually watched a few videos about it. And it worked actually really well. So we're just going to run with it. I'm going to remove all this plastic off of here before I actually stuck it down. Whoa, that's crazy. I guess the top came off of that. Hard drive or SSD or combination? What do you recommend? Depends. If you're storing a large amount of files, definitely a hard drive. But for the main boot drive, I'd recommend solid state. And if you have the option, a M.2 drive, that's definitely going to give you the best performance. This is going to be purely solid state SSD. For right now, it's going to be a standard SSD, a SATA drive SSD, and a few days when my M.2 drives arrive, I'm going to get those and install those. Pros and cons, write speed, performance. It's purely performance based, but for like storing a lot of files, definitely I'd do like a hybrid drive, or better yet, get yourself a NAS, like I just did a review on. Just getting these nice, good and tight. Want good pressure on that CPU. I should make sure this really fits back in good. Just maybe. That's just barely clearing. Big concern is these cooling lines rubbing up against these fans. I think we should be okay because it's the bottom side of the fans. I really like this cooler. It's got some pretty cool features. I'll run all that later here. So we have it up vertical. Let's go ahead and install the beast of a graphics card. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I already opened up this graphics card and had a look. Like I said, I had to kind of test fit everything. Make sure it fit. Get some of this beautiful plastic off here. Kind of blurry. Look at this thing. Look at that graphics card. It is huge. It is ginormous. This is the Gigabyte 480 graphics card. 16 gigabytes of RAM, VRAM. I can't even tell you all the stats on this thing. This is one of the top of the line graphics cards. We're going to put it, I think, right here in this top slot. The only spot it would fit. Which might cover up that slot. I was hoping to show off some, what you call it. This is what I was afraid of. See, I test fitted it to make sure it fit in here. But I put the radiator in after the fact when I test fitted it. Oh, don't tell me I'm going to take the radiator out to get this thing in. Oh, that's going to be fun. All right, come on. Let me see all the comments. All the hate comments. And I'm just inches away. Pretty nice graph. Yeah, this graphics card ran me about $1,200. I could have got a 3090, which is a gen older graphics card, for about the same price, but it would have been several weeks out, and I need this computer up and running for this holiday giveaway. So right now I am removing all screws. I put the radiator in so I can fit the graphics card in first. See, this case boasted that it could fit actually a 10 millimeter longer graphics card than I have. It said, oh yeah, no problem. But that's not taking into account the front radiator. If you install a front radiator. Now, I decided to do a push configuration on my fans. I could have done a pull configuration. So I could have just taken out that one fan. But I decided I wanted to do fans that push air into the radiator. Just because. I thought it might look nicer. I don't know. Slightly regretting that. But it's all good. See, I knew I want to get out of this build scotch-free without making some screw up. I'm gonna flip this over without everything falling out. Nope. Alright, put that radiator off to the side. Get our beast. I just can't get over how massive this thing is, this graphics card. I mean, just look at that thing. I mean, there is nowhere else. I couldn't have put it in this other PCIe slot of the basement. It has to go there. So now the question is, can I? Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? I think the reason I decided to go with the radiator on this side is I didn't think the fans would fit. I went with the radiator on the other side. Primary thing is, I've got a section right here in the middle, my radiator, that's not really going to be cooling super efficient. That's okay. Everything lined up. There we go. You guys get to see me putting the radiator in again. See, I was trying to avoid this. I was going to be smart and put it in first. course, that's not lighting up. So there we got all the screws in there nice and tight. Let's flip this over and you'll be able to see again. Literally, this graphics card, ginormous graphics card, is right up against there. All right. Let's get our power supply installed. Keep on rocking. Like I said, we have the Corsair HX 1200 watt power supply. Should be more than enough power for this behemoth of a build. I'm so glad I didn't try to go with the smaller case. Really nice looking power supply. It's a shame it's going to be kind of fitted in the base. Final operation of both. This also has one of those nice static pressure fans in it. Now the question is, filter medium here on the bottom. We install it in upside down. So it's pulling air straight from the bottom. Just exhausting it out the back, or should we have it pull air from inside the case? My thought is install upside down, have it have its own airflow in and out of the case. I think that would be most sensible. Here on the back, sorry I can't quite show you guys, I'll show you in a second. This nice removable plate to remove, install. On the back of the case, it has this plate you can install on the back of your power supply so you can quickly and easily remove it with just a set of thumb screws. Nice and convenient. Now, this always a big fan of using the screws that came with the device instead of using the screws that came with the case. Guys, if you can see the floor around me, it is just an utter mess. Let's get these installed. Should have triple checked to make sure this frame flipped around and going both ways. Just realized my microphone was way up there, so I don't know if you guys could hear me. I'm just saying I should have double checked to make sure this frame that I'm attaching to the back of my power supply could have gone in both ways. I'm just screwing this in. So I gotta flip it over so you guys can see, right? Nice, so just nice thumb screws. One looks crooked. Guess not. While I'm back here, we should probably secure our graphics card down. Put the thumb screws back in. Worst thing that can happen, dropping screws in your computer case. Let's place this bracket back there. We got the screwdriver back here. Let's just go around all our power supply screws and make sure they are nice and snug. All right, we're getting there. Now we just got to wire up the sucker. Flip this back. You can see we have some cable management going down here. It's our fan and LED lights. This is the fan header that came with our water cooler. Now I did go ahead. I wasn't sure if the one we bought was going to come with. looks like the same thing, so I'm going to return this one. I was thinking to go right back here. The RGB hub and our fan hub right here. That would look pretty nice. Nice cable management. Came with these nice little double-sided 3M strips. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm pretty happy with that location. So I think we're going to go ahead and mount that. Can I just mount it sideways here? Okay. We got that mounted there. Hey, big bald Azure guy. Hope your Thanksgiving was well. I hope yours was good as well. Thanksgiving here was great. No complaints. Just taking my time and building this computer. How's your day going? Okay. Shit. One fan, two fan. This isn't me. I'm assuming you're talking to the big bald Azure guy, asking him how was yours, how was his. Well, Thanksgiving, we just did something small. Just kept the family. Nothing too crazy. We didn't even do a turkey this year. We just did a ham. Trying to fish this wire. These fans. Excuse me. Okay, so this is RGB and fan for our top one. We're going to go into one slot. If we have enough length. Oh, look at this. Okay. Could I have gone into number 8? Sure. Would have looked as nice? Probably. Let's grab this next fan. I'm going to tell you the age-old lie of any computer builder is I'm going to come back here and cable manage this later. No, I'm not. No, no one ever cable manages behind the backside of their computer. You know why? Because it's out of sight. You care about what's inside the case, how that looks nice and pretty. Back here, this is probably going to be destined for disarray. So I have 3 RGB fans here in the front, and then 3 non-RGB fans in the back. Considering plugging, or in the case, consider plugging all the fans into this one controller. That way I can manage it all in the same software. Because to me, that makes sense. Okay. Let's get some power supply wires out. PCIe. Oh. Hey guys, write down. We have our main motherboard power supply wire right here. So let's start with this. This is very true. You put all the work in cable management, and then 2 days later you pull it all apart because you need to add something new and work with the cable management system. That is true. So let's go ahead and can't see that well, guys. Give me a second to push some stuff around this case. Okay. Let's back. All right, so we have our power supply plug. I'm sorry, our motherboard plug right here. It's plugged in. Our graphics card came with this special adapter that allows us to plug 3 PCIe power supply or power cables into this one. CPU. Another CPU. Now, one thing I'll probably get here at a future date, some other PCIe cables. You see, these ones have this other little pigtail on them, and it just doesn't look the nicest. Try this one again. There we go. A lot of power for that one graphics card, but knew this was going to be a power hungry son of a gun going into this. Alright, now we just have our CPU wire up here at the top. Just because there's just not. Now would probably be a good time to get this on as well. Okay. I know you guys can't quite see what I'm doing. Or do I have a good really show you? So we have the top of our CPU. We have to connect all these wires. We have our one USB. Let's refer to our thick manual here. So power supply. Just gotta find the manual for our cooler. It did not come with user. I guess it didn't come with the user manual. Let's do some searching online really quick. Can I not zoom in more on this? Okay. SATA power cable. Got a fan header. Connect power cable to available SATA power plug, figure 1. Connect pump tack to CPU fan header, motherboard. Connect each fan to the shroud, 4-pin connector pump 4. Figure 2. Each fan to the shroud. CPU fan is the closest one here. So that is it. I'll go ahead and plug this in and try to run the rest of the wires around the backside. CPU power. I think I'm for a 2 now. Where's my mouse? Heidi ho, neighbor. Just kidding. See if anyone's old enough to get that reference in the chat. It's like right there. Okay. Question is, will this CPU wire, power supply wire, fit too? So that would be pretty dope. Someone made you a mask. Put that on it. That would be someone that has a print shop. That'll be available. Sorry guys, I'm just doing some cable management here. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. The streaming software crashed. Does look like we're back though. Give me a few seconds to get everything back up. Is there going to be a computer build list? Absolutely. There should be one down in the description that takes you to a YouTube link with all the components we've used. Let's see here. Can you guys hear me okay? Sorry about that. Had a bit of a computer glitch. Appears we are back. Just trying to plug in some wires here. Let's see if I can get this back up. Oh, that's not good. Let's try. Try to get the rest of these wires connected. It's a USB 2.0 for fan. It's not a SATA power. It's like SATA power. So interesting. So it's showing a SATA power connector, but it's obviously not a SATA power connector. Corsair Link USB Lightning cable. Am I like missing a cable? Be my luck. Sorry, guys. Just looking for cable that I might be missing. See if I maybe threw it out. Sure doesn't seem like it. Oh, I know where this goes. Okay. So this goes into a fan head controller. I had a little bit of a dumb moment. This plug out of the water cooling block plugs into this end plug right here. Gosh, it does not want to go easy into that. But it's in. Out of it, we have this USB and this USB. Both need to go into the board. I think I'm going to plug this in down here at the bottom. One of them. There's two of them. Now, I'm curious if I can find my Be Quiet instruction book now. I have one plug. I'm not sure what it goes to. That sounded something to do with RGB. If that is truly the case, wouldn't it make sense? Plug RGB into the one device in the back. Let's control RGB. Interesting. It should go right here. I think that's all the way plugged in. Nope, it just fell out.